Sunday Debate with Arnab Goswami, powered by Ola.
Hello viewers and welcome to the Sunday Debate. Just before, let me switch off the phone, I'm so sorry. Just before I came into the studio, I saw the choppers fly past, and then there was a fly past of the jets as well. And I stood there on my balcony of my flat and I started looking out, and everywhere around me, on the roofs, some people on the lanes who had gone out for some morning shopping, just passers by. Everybody was looking up and everybody was clapping, and they were shouting and they were clapping and they were cheering. And obviously their voices would not be heard by those on the fly past, but that moment stayed with me this morning, and I wondered how it was so beautiful that 40 days into the lockdown, people was so willing to come together, just as they had done on day one. And then I saw one particular picture on Republic, and I want to talk about this picture, viewers, because this really sums up the whole exercise today. Whether you're appreciative or skeptical about it, it's about two words, just two words: thank you. That sums it up in my view. It's a collective moment to express our love and gratitude to those who are in the front lines. I don't want to name sections of professionals because I'm bound to leave out many. But this Sunday, our hearts can become bigger and our noses will not get shorter if we utter and express just two words. And those two words, beautifully put on in that aircraft carrier where everyone comes together and they say, thank you. So viewers, welcome to the Sunday Debate today. I'm bringing you this Sunday Debate on the 40th day of the lockdown. And today, as the military bands beat their drums in different parts of the country with great pride for all our COVID heroes, as our fighter jets fly past, and I'm sure you've seen them either on television or personally this morning, to salute our COVID battle, as our coastline saw ships like those I just showed you get ready to illuminate in tribute to those who are our frontline warriors against COVID. I think that today is really a day to celebrate how far we have come in this COVID battle, and how tireless we have been, and how resilient we have been, and how united we have been, and more importantly today, from the lockdown on the 25th of March, how all of us, amidst the cacophony of the naysayers and the prophets of doom, we came past, we beat them all. They promised to defeat us. We defeated them, and we continue to defeat them every day. Even today, we have just about under 40,000 cases in a country of 1.3 billion people. We have a recovery rate which is 9 times the fatality rate. We are winning, and that is absolutely brilliant. And there are things I said yesterday on my debate. I said on Sunday I'm going to come with some statistics which are going to stun everyone else. So my hashtag is very symbolic, as it is very relevant, as it is very simple. I want all of you to be part of it. And I'm going to ask some basic questions today. Are we not proud to be part of this COVID battle? Haven't the Doomsday predictions been proven wrong? Haven't the prophets of doom been defeated? Is anti-Modi politics the only reason why some people are not cooperating? Is anti-Modiism the only reason why some people are so bugged? And finally, is it really bugging a few that India is more prepared for a COVID battle than they would have ever fathomed, and that we are actually doing so well? Remember, viewers, there were some people who said that by May, and these were some America-sponsored quote-unquote epidemiologists who had said in March that be sure that by May, there will be at least 300 million Indians who will be struck with COVID. And the anchor had said, oh my God, that scares me. And I thought that was such a stupid moment to capture on video. And that's exactly what has happened today. So I think there's a great symbolism to this battle. Remember, viewers, the number 40,000 is not the number of people who are actually active cases. The number of active cases is still in the 20,000s, which means we've done remarkably well. And today, as the military of the country pays a massive tribute to the COVID heroes and rallies up the morale of 1.3 billion people, I want to ask questions to these doomsday prophets, those who endorse these doomsday prophets, and those who are hoping against hope that the doomsday scenario will come true, that hundreds of millions of Indians will be infected and millions of Indians will die. Well, millions have not died and they won't. And therefore, we need to be truly proud of what we have achieved. On the debate today, Pawan Verma, Professor Arun Kumar, Tanveer Ahmed and Tausif Ahmed Khan are on one side. General G.D. Bakshi, Anand Ranganathan, Prafulla Ketkar and Dr. Sambit Patra on the other side. And these are live Sunday debates, so it's great fun. We'll bring in a lot of interactivity into the debate. And this piece of paper I have with me today, Pawan Verma, Sambit Patra, has statistics which will shock the living daylights out of the prophets of doom. And how I will be overjoyed when I see their expression when I do that. So we've done remarkably well. Which side would like to start? Between Pawan, Tanveer, Dr. Arun Kumar or Tausif, perhaps. If one of you would like to start the debate. Sambit raises his hand on one side. Who's raising his hand on the other side? Come on, don't be so unwilling at the start.
Pawanji is our senior.
Pawanji is the senior. He raised his hand. And as always, the treasury benches will speak second. Pawan Verma goes first. Pawan Verma, India fights back. Have all the prophets of doom been proven wrong?
Thank you, Arnab, and I think it's a very useful debate. Let me first begin by saying that the gratitude expressed so vividly to the COVID warrior fighters is something the entire nation appreciates. It behoves a nation to pay tribute to those who are on the front line fighting for a cause and doing so at great risk to their own lives. To all those professionals, as you said, without going into categories, I want to join the nation in paying tribute. Secondly, I don't think a debate on what has been achieved and how we need to proceed further is a me versus you, a pro versus cons debate. It's about a collective rumination on what should the nation as a whole, beyond partisanship, do, which is best for the country, without taking it in a binary mode that everything is good and anyone who provides a constructive suggestion is entirely bad. I would request you, Arnab, you are a cerebral man with a reflexive mind. You must allow for that kind of debate which is not about absolute black and whites. So let me put my position, and I have written and spoken about it more than once. I believe that the government's decision for the first lockdown was a decisive move and has played a great role in limiting the spread of the virus thus far. It limited the transmission, it dramatically highlighted the importance of social distancing, and it provided vital time to upgrade our health infrastructure, the entire gamut, hospital beds, PPEs, ventilators, masks, quarantining facilities, etc., to cope with this pandemic. Having said that, I do believe that lockdown 3 raises questions which we need to debate. My personal view is that a further extension in the manner in which it has allowed for a graded lifting of the lockdown will perhaps achieve neither of the two goals. An absolute lockdown in our country, I believe, with the purpose of self-isolation and social distancing is near impossible to implement given the nature of those who live cheek by jowl in 50% of the urban landscape of India, which is verifiably a slum. And with the movement of migrants now, we saw pictures today where they are standing and shoving of home now. I think that goal will be less achieved. So we will not achieve the full goal of social distancing and self-isolation, while at the same time, this red, orange and green zones, to my mind, is a color-coded bureaucratic nightmare for the revival of the economy, which has also become absolutely essential today. The sooner the better. So, this is a matter that we can discuss and debate.
Sure.
I believe
Sure.
that if we don't have clarity on this, we
Sure.
will fall flat between both stools.
Right.
And therefore, I feel the government should come out with
Right.
clear-cut guidelines
Yes.
on how to revive the economy. Because last point I want to make, Arnab, before I end. You know, economic activity, and you will understand this, is a seamless whole. From production to retail outlets to supply chains to vendor networks to labor movement to transport facility. How do you categorize the beginning of economic activity, which the government wants? It has been saying so.
Sir.
And which incidentally will ensure that there are no deaths or suffering due to hunger
Correct.
and malnutrition.
Correct. I
the
think
economy needs to now stand on its feet.
Yeah,
My view is that you can't do it because take a last point only. Take a green zone. Take a green zone, Arnab. I ask you a logical question. A green zone is one where there has been no reported case for 21 days. Now what happens that with increased testing, you discover 4 cases or 5 cases after you have declared it a green zone and allowed economic activity to begin.
Yes.
What happens then? So I believe that you cannot rev up the economy through these tentative, hesitant,
Okay, I appreciate
sort of half-hearted way.
I appreciate.
And that's my point of view.
Yeah, I
so
appreciate.
while I appreciate what the government has done, I have some ideas of the way forward.
Yes. Now, Mr. Verma, I will respond in 2 lines and hand it over to Sambit. I love it when the debate begins to warm up. First of all, Mr. Verma, believe me, and I'm saying it repeatedly, you have to believe me, there is not going to be any economic doomsday. We are going to do beautifully. The Moody's is expecting a bounce back, and you know Moody's is no friend of India. You spoke about retail. The Retailers Association of India is saying lockdown 3 is a good start to get the economy moving. So I believe and I suspect you're presenting a political argument. But I want to cut to the chase and go right to the nub of the argument at the start, sir, if you allow me. I want to begin by exposing the doomsdayers, the prophets of doom. Because Mr. Pawan Verma, a battle is fought with a great sense of motivation. And our Honorable Prime Minister has done everything to motivate us. And the opposition has done everything to demotivate us, along with its minions. For example, and Sambit will open the debate everyone's on, certain experts supported by the opposition were giving interviews saying, don't worry, 500 million Indians will be infected. Now, did these doomsday critics come true? Are even 1 million people infected? Then they said, don't worry, lot of Indians will die of hunger. And the Boring Broadcasting Corporation, on the first day of the lockdown, predicted that India's poorest fear hunger may kill us before the coronavirus. Now, how horrible that untruth is. Today, there are 0 reported deaths due to starvation. This depicts the resilience of our citizens. Jaan hai to jahan hai has been successful. My question is, I'm celebrating. But today, did the prophets of doom come out and applaud? They said there is going to be supply shock in India. They said there's going to be no supply. Everything will be finished. Logistics will be over. India will be exposed for its vulnerabilities. And you know what happened, Pawan Verma, and Sambit is opening. I promise not to speak much today, viewers. Truck movement went up 76%. Movement in cargo trains went up from 67 to 76%. And movement in ports went up to 90%. There is something remarkable happening in this country. Remarkable. And I want to talk about that remarkable this Sunday. Sambit. And everyone feel free to come in. It's an open debate now. Kanchan Gupta, welcome. I can see my friend Yati Noza also there. Sambit is debating. Sambit.
Arnab, first and foremost, hearty congratulations for the World Press Day to you and Republic Channel and to the others as well. And let me, since you said that we have to begin with a warm-up, let me warm up with some good data. And I'm thankful to you, Mr. Goswami, that you have a very erudite panel today. I really love listening to Mr. Pawan Verma. And Pawan was absolutely right. Let's not have blacks and whites. Let's have good news. So some good news, and I believe these are the perks of being in the party which is in power. I have certain data which I believe to share with the country through your channel. Number one, the total number of recovered cases today is 10,633, a good figure. Hotspot districts are far less, that is 130 compared to the non-hotspot districts, that is 284, and non-infected districts 319. Total number of dedicated COVID hospitals in India, that is 800 today. Total COVID beds in India today is 1,42,666. Isolation beds being 1,24,687. And ICU beds being 17,979. Total dedicated COVID health centers, 1,900. Center has 58 and states has 1,842. Total COVID beds, DCHCs, is equal to 1,18,874. Total quarantine centers is 7,137. Medical equipment status, very important for our corona warriors. Total PPE distribution to the states as of today is 19,22,000. Total N95 masks distributed to the states, 51,62,000. Total number of cases as on 2nd May, ICU, 1,838. That is only 4.9% of cases. So please smile and don't think that it's doom. Ventilators, only 444 cases. Of the nearly 39,000 cases, only 444 cases. Please listen, everyone, only 1.1% of people are needing ventilators. So no panic, please. Oxygen requirement, only 3.3% of people, that is 1,257 people today are in need of oxygen as of May 3rd. Number of states and union territories in which no cases emerged in the last 25.
Come to your main point, Sambit.
This is main point. These are positive points. People in these states should know that 13 states which had no cases in the last 24 hours, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Chandigarh, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Puducherry. States and union territories which have not reported a single case in last 5 days. Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Sikkim, Nagaland and Lakshadweep. These are positive news, and I firmly believe you all would agree. I would conclude by saying that encouraging optimism and patience is far better than criticism, pessimism, and impatience. And Mr. Verma, I would just like to say individually to you, you say that it is nearly impossible to continue this fight because we are very closely poised in India. To fight a nearly impossible battle and to win is what is the guts, is what takes guts, is what is leadership, is the quality that India and Indian people show. And we have literally won the battle compared to what the West is throwing up. Look at US, nearly 70,000 people dead. Look at Italy, look at Spain, and look at India. With 135 crore people, we have registered almost 1,000 deaths, which shows that we are moving towards victory. I believe a little bit of patience and encouragement is what is required from us.
Yeah. I saw Pawan Verma's hand up, but Pawan Verma, in the spirit of a democratic
Arnab, may
debate.
I have a quick response?
I give you a very short response. Everyone's getting very restless. GD's hand is going up. Anand is quiet. Tanveer is pulling out some papers and looking nervous. I saw Yatin Oza's hand go up, so I need to start the debate. Everyone's...
Mamata Banerjee has no papers and you say her spokesperson is pulling up papers?
No. Sambit, Sambit, be graceful in victory.
No, it's graceful.
Let Pawan Verma respond to you. Pawan Verma, 20-second rebut and then it's open.
Mr. Goswami, let me at the outset lay the rules. You wanted a heated debate and we have to expose all those who are not playing this game fairly. As far as Bengal is concerned,
listen, Sambit Patra, whether you are the foreman, Muhammad Ali or Tyson of debating, you don't get to set the rules. Which world are you in? Even Muhammad Ali didn't get to set the rules. Pawan Verma is responding. Pawan Verma is responding. I set the rules here, not you.
20 seconds.
Pawan Verma. Everyone's on, yeah.
Samvit, yes, please understand where I am coming from personally. It is not in any way, Arnab, to belittle the mammoth task that has been achieved in fighting the coronavirus. I am only debating with you within a constructive framework What is the way ahead? For instance, Samvit quoted all these statistics. Perhaps in all fairness, he could have said, how many people have been rendered jobless? How many companies are close to closure?
Okay.
What
That's
is
what
the
he wants.
situation of the economy? What is the suffering of the migrant labor? How much ameliorative food and cash has been delivered effectively?
Debate.
When is the fiscal stimulus package which the entire industry and economy expecting?
I first talked about Jan, Mr. Pavan Verma. I will talk about Jahan as well. Pavan, you are right. Let me. First, I talked about Jan, and I would be talking subsequently about Jahan as well. I mean, the data that I gave out was absolutely essential as far as health requirements is concerned. I would believe that you would agree that these were essential data. As far as the fiscal stimulus, etc., is concerned, is it not true that a package of 1,70,000 crore rupees has been injected? Is it not true that the RBI has injected liquidity? Is it not true that every migrant labor is being cared for? Even your state of Bihar is caring for the 30 to 40 lakh migrant laborers that are restricted to Bihar. Is it not true that MSMEs have been cared for? That the CBDT has given them an IT reduction? An IT refund, I should be saying.
Shall we? There will be no monopoly on the debate, and Anand Ranganathan is coming in with Yatin Oza right now. And questions are raised about food. My God, I don't know whether Anand Ranganathan gets his Mysore Pak, but let me tell you this, Yatin Oza and Tanveer, let me tell you this. Under the Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, 5 kilograms of wheat and rice have been given to 80 crore households, which is 2/3 of our population. I know you don't like Modi, Yatin Oza. I know you have a problem with Amit Shah also. But tell me, did they? No, let me tell you. Did they or did they not give 5 kilo of wheat and rice and 1 kilo of pulse and dal additionally for each household over the 5 kilos of rice and wheat that they receive? Is it not true that today we have a buffer stock? A buffer stock, viewers, a surplus stock of food. When there is a global food crisis, Yatin Oza, we have a surplus stock of food. We have so much so that rice and sugar industries are helping us with supplying ethanol to make sanitizers. We have that much rice and sugar. In fact, many households have done large-scale hoarding. I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying you ought to have done hoarding. But still, there is no shortage of essential supplies. All these things, Yatin Oza, all these things Anand and Yatin will now fiercely debate were things that you people had predicted. Now, it has not happened. What do we do, Yatin Oza?
20 kgs of theplas.
Yatin Oza.
Now let me tell you, Arnab.
Okay, Yatin and Anand.
Now let me tell you, Arnab. You assumed. Permit me, because I want to say something that Arnab assumed many things. What I am going to speak, what I am not going to speak, what are my views. Straight away he puts me on this side and assumes what are going to be my answers. Right from day one, I have been saying that I am against lockdown. However, this is not the time to debate on it, because this is a function which democratically elected government has to discharge. And I was very clear that whatever democratically elected government decides, I will religiously follow it, and I have religiously followed it. So there is no question. In fact, I find this debate to be politically motivated to give certificates after certificates to the government. I have at all no problem with the functioning of the government. But what I feel is that this debate is purposefully today arranged to give certificates after certificates to the government, accusing the opposition when whole country unitedly stands behind the central government.
Don't be ridiculous,
whole country
Mr. Oza.
does follow
you haven't heard
what
me.
central government
You haven't heard
directs.
4 of the panelists.
Then I don't think that this debate, accusation against opposition, Luton media, this, that, I firmly believe that it's going to ruin the economy, but this is not the time to speak on that. This is not the time to debate on that.
That is your point,
This is the time
no.
where India should stand united
Yeah.
behind
You
the
see,
central
First of all,
government.
Arnab, I am astonished that Mr. Ojha said he has been always against the lockdown. This is an astonishing admission. It is actually the lockdown. Now, if I can give him the facts. Okay, so here goes. You know, I
But
might be
Mr.
prone to a
Patra,
little bit of hyperbole, but
That
Arnab,
is Anand, not Patra.
Now,
That is
Mr.
Anand,
Ojha,
not
I didn't
Patra.
interrupt you. Now,
Anand,
Mr. Ojha,
Anand, I have religiously followed it. For 40
Yes.
days, I have not moved off my house.
No,
I am
but you
in
were
the house
against
for
it.
40 days.
you haven't
And I
given the
firmly
reason
believe
why you were
this
against
is-
it.
No,
I
the
am
reason,
against it.
The
therefore,
reason why you
therefore,
are against
Yatin
was
Oza,
lockdown.
small,
I'm astonished.
you know, it is exactly,
But
Mr.
it is
Oza,
this
since you
lockdown
paid
that
me many
matters.
compliments, let me pay you
Majorly.
one.
But I
Since you
have-
paid me many
but-
compliments, let me pay you one. Let me have the opportunity,
I
the
have-
grace to pay you
but I-
one compliment.
but I
One
firmly
compliment.
believe
One compliment.
that this is-
One
these are
compliment
the
to you,
decisions
Yatin Oza, for the first
to be
time in my
taken by-
life. We know each other for
taken by
20 years.
democratically
Let me
elected
pay you a
government.
compliment. You see, Mr. Oza, the good thing about you is that you are personally a supporter of the lockdown. The bad thing about you, the unacceptable thing about you, is that you're politically against the lockdown, which means you know it is a good thing. But because of your
Yes.
political
No,
prejudice,
no.
bias, and
At all
convictions,
not.
you're opposing it.
At all,
No,
at
no,
all
that is
not.
the reason I'll have to expose
all.
you, no other reason.
Just try to understand. No, just try to understand. Every political party has supported the lockdown.
No, they haven't.
there is no question
No, they
of
haven't.
those are the kinds of
No, they
political
haven't.
party
I really
or
don't
being
want
No,
to
they have only added many riders. No, they haven't.
That was a stinging slap on the politics of Mr. Ojha. Now, Mr. Ojha, I was listening patiently to you, sir. Can you please give me a minute?
1 minute. Yes.
Proceed, Anand. You have a green light. Proceed.
Yeah, go on.
Proceed, Anand. What's going on? Proceed.
I think. Okay, right. I thought you were waiting for Mr. Ojha to speak. No, Arnab, as I was saying, I might be prone to a little bit of hyperbole. It's a Sunday. But I have to tell you, we are a blessed land. You know, we have, I would say, we have won this war. We might not have won the war to the completion, but I'm purely looking at the mortality rate. Not the mortality rate, rather, but the mortality numbers. If you remember, Arnab, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, there were these, epidemic fortune hunters and these, fly-by-night epidemiologists on other channels who were saying by May, India would have 2 million dead. By July, we would have 15 million dead. This is what they were saying. Right now, our mortality number is 1100. They were saying India is 2 weeks behind Italy and USA. Italy right now is 28,000. USA is 65,000. 2 weeks ago, Italy was 24,000. And if you were to normalize our mortality number by the population, the difference is even starker. So obviously the lockdown has helped enormously. I don't know which, La La Land Mr. Ojha was living in to have believed that lockdown will not help. It is logic that tells you that if you severely curtail the 1.3 billion interacting people, you're going to reduce the R naught, which is the rate of infectivity or infection. And this is what has happened. And obviously by the lockdown, we have reduced the mortality. Plus, there is no doubt when I say it is a blessed land because of the climate, there are many factors. People are saying vitamin D levels, the sunlight, BCG, higher basal immunity. These are all contributing factors that have contributed to our pitiful, thankfully, pitiful low mortality number.
No, you
now,
see. Yeah.
I also have to say this, that in moving ahead, obviously lockdown has been really successful, but in moving ahead, we cannot go by the case numbers. You know, because it is impossible for me to believe that a city like Delhi, which is so connected internationally, which has a huge international airport, 25 million population, urban population, has only 3,000 cases in the last 3 months. So obviously we are doing the wrong thing by basing our analysis on the RT-PCR cases. There might be millions of people who got infected, but they got cured. We cannot panic and look at just the case numbers. We have to look at the mortality numbers,
Yeah,
and we have won this.
let's keep it moving.
Now, in going ahead, if you look at
No, let's look at going ahead later. Let's nail the doomsday critics now.
If you look at
you see,
Japan,
no, 1 minute. Anand, brakes on.
So
brakes on, Anand. The question is, I'm going to look at the road ahead later. But I'm going to enjoy myself for the first half an hour of this debate by skewering the critics, because I just want to note that Mr. Oza looks very happy. He looks fresh. I'm sure he's been getting his milk, his butter, his essentials, his theplas and khakras, and his vegetables, and he looks completely fine. And I'm sure the LPG in his house is also working. Now, Mr. Yatin Oza, please thank the people.
I hope Anand is also getting his Mysore Pak, Anand.
Yeah, I'll get to Mysore Pak later.
Also getting his Mysore Pak.
Yeah, I'll ask him. I'll ask him about Mysore Pak. I'll tell him to send me some. My question is,
neither am I getting.
No, everyone. No. My question is, larger point that a person like Yatin Oza should have the magnanimity, generosity, maturity, and humility to accept that the person he dislikes, Narendra Modi, severely dislikes Narendra Modi, is the same person who has ensured an administration so seamless that from his LPG to his milk, everything is fine. So when Narendra Modi says stay at home,
absolutely,
he ensures that everything is fine at home. And by the way, these people, after that, these people say migrant workers. What lies? The Ministry of Home Affairs, run by Mr. Amit Shah, got the states and UTs to immediately set up relief camps for workers, pilgrims, others who are returning to their domicile states. There has been complete publicity and awareness, and today all our migrant workers have been mapped and they are getting relief. Now there is interstate movement of migrant workers. As of this minute, there are special Shramik trains to facilitate their movement. Installments of thousands of rupees have been given to farmers under the Prime Minister Kisan scheme. 70,000 crore financial aid is given to farmers. You have no issues. Yatin Oza, you have nothing to complain about. Do you realize, Tanveer? So give up
Arnab,
and join the celebration. Yes, Tanveer.
Arnab, can I come in?
You can come in. And GD Bakshi is at pains right now because he wants to come into the debate
it's a nice Sunday debate. I'm really...
Come in. The marriage is already over.
Arnab, it's a nice Sunday debate. I'm really happy that you're turning out to be a bad referee, favoring one side and letting the other side not really rebut. Okay, fine. Arnab, today, English-speaking, suited and booted people who are sitting out here are missing out some very, very important points. You know something, because of non-supply of folic acid and iron tablet to pregnant and lactating women, what is the impact going to be on children which are going to be born during this lockdown period? Nobody is discussing that.
What are you talking about, yaar? You prophet of doom. Please don't do this. I think you should be sued by all people for spreading lies on television.
You are turning out, when my punches are strong, when my punches are as strong as Holyfield's punches, nobody is willing to take it. Let me answer it.
This is very unfair. I'm telling you, it's unfair to all expecting mothers. It's unfair to all children born in this period. You have made a wide sweeping statement. I'm telling you, the expecting mothers and children are absolutely fine. You are trying to spread panic when it is not required for your political interest.
I understand. I really understand. I am working with Asha workers. I am working with women who are
Please stop advertising yourself.
From these. Your Chitrana and Masrana is not going to solve their. It's not going to solve their nutritional demands.
Tanveer, when your boss Kumaraswamy was breaking the lockdown rules, who was he helping?
We will park our boss for a minute. Arnab, we will park our boss for a minute, but there are certain questions. Is it not true that the papers which Sambit Patra and Anand is getting it?
Kanchan is
it not true? Indian Staffing Federation has said that 8 crore people in India are going to lose their jobs. 8 crore people are going to lose their jobs in India. Are we really talking and discussing that $235 billion of economy, which is agriculture centric. We are not even discussing it.
There
It's
is
not
a bumper
binary,
crop.
Arnab. It is not
Agriculture
you
is
versus
doing
us.
beautifully.
We need to fight this battle together.
Sir, agricultural
We need to
production
fight this
is at an
battle
all-time
together to
high.
win it. If at all you are saying that this battle...
Our
Mr.
fundamentals
Arnab
of Jai
Goswami,
Jawan, Jai
Narendra
Kisan have
Modi
not
is
been
not the only one
forgotten.
who's fighting this battle.
Kanchan Gupta, enter the debate, please, because
Yeah, you see.
अरे
Kanchan Gupta and Tanveer.
Tanveer,
जय कार्मिक भी बोल दो, लेबरर वर्कर्स के बारे में भी बात कर लो, उनकी औरतों के बारे में बात करो, उनके बच्चों के बारे में बात करो, जो लोग ठेला उठा के 1500 मेल चल के जा रहे हैं, उनके बारे में भी बात करो. नहीं बात करेंगे, नहीं बात करेंगे. Everything is good, everything is beautiful. Arnab,
you look very well groomed.
A great job.
So please, Tanveer, you don't look impacted by what's happening in the streets at all.
अरे
So
कंचन दादा, बोलो दादा.
Please. Look,
बोलो दादा.
anybody who says that there is no problem lying ahead for the world, that person will not be accepting the reality. The COVID pandemic has impacted the global economy, and it will take time for things to get back to normal, if at all there is a normal, or we will have to cope with a new normal. Tanveer has just quoted some huge number of people who are going to lose jobs. Now, people continuously get into employment, they get out of employment. And this time, of course, there will be a different dimension to it because the micro, small and medium enterprises have been hit. Now, this has nothing to do with the lockdown in the sense that the lockdown was not aimed at hurting the economy. Most of the people who are criticizing the lockdown, they begin with the premise as if the lockdown was designed to hurt the economy. The lockdown was designed to save lives, and it has been amply demonstrated by now that India has been spared the kind of losses, human losses, which developed countries, America has been mentioned several times in this debate. Every rich Indian who has a pimple on his backside takes a flight out to America because Indian health system is so bad and the American health system is so good. Now look at the number of deaths in America and look at the number of deaths in India. Look at the number of infections in Europe and look at the number of infections in India. There could be other factors at play. My friend Anand Ranganathan and I had a long discussion on this. BCG vaccine may have played a big role. We also know that there is the basal immunity in India is pretty high. So those factors may have been at play. But for the government to declare the lockdown was an absolute imperative, and we really should not be debating
I think there's no argument on the economy. I want to truly end the argument on the economy, and I'm sure that Professor Arun Kumar will join me in this. Professor Arun Kumar, in fact, yes. I think if anything else, and a serious point, we should be thinking about how strong we have become in the last few years. And here's my argument. The structural reforms of the last 6 years have actually helped to manage the COVID crisis. Had this crisis happened in 2013, it would have been impossible to combat it. And you should be generous enough to make that admission. Don't think, Professor Arun Kumar, that by saying this after the program, people will call you a Modi Bhakt. So what? Speak the truth. Don't take a predictable Latian's line, because you know something. Look at the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, 109 million toilets. Can you imagine the lockdown without the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and the 109 million toilets? Then secondly, and please take my notes and argue with me factually and not politically. Look at Digital India. Because of the high-speed internet, everybody is working from home, including you. Your smartphone is one among 500 million in the country. The Arogya Setu app, which is set to become a game changer, is part of Digital India. So what I'm saying is, look at the structural reforms, the changes that Narendra Modi, who I don't think you like very much, brought into this country, have actually ensured that you are sitting at home comfortable with food, with internet, with health, everything. Look at your health infrastructure under Ayushman Bharat, the Jan Aushadhi Kendra. You tell me today, without that, you have got people with 380 million bank accounts, 204 million women account holders getting 500 per month for 3 months. Without the Jan Dhan Yojana, what would people have done during the lockdown? You see, and let me give you one simple example.
Before Modi, India never existed.
No. I am giving you things that happened under Modi. Why are you getting uncomfortable? The question is to Professor Arun Kumar.
No, Mr. Devegowda is the best Prime Minister, by the way.
I am telling you things that Narendra Modi
Best period
did.
of India was during Mr. Devegowda.
I am telling you things that Narendra Modi did.
No forces, India had nothing.
At least
Arun Kumar is debating with Praful Ketkar.
Nobody is saying that. We are talking about numbers. See, the numbers.
No, let
clearly
Arun
tell
Kumar
us
go first.
That after,
Kumar Ketkar, let Arun Kumar go first. Professor Arun Kumar.
So Arnab,
Yes.
the question is not that we like Modi or we don't like Modi. He's the Prime Minister of the country and he's carrying on policies, that the nation has to perform. So I completely accept that lockdown is very essential and the extension of the lockdown, otherwise the disease would have spread. We have the example of Nanded pilgrims coming from Punjab and they are suddenly infected and they are infecting others as well. So we need a lot of testing to really figure out, how many people are infected or how many people are getting cured out of that. So therefore, in a sense, lockdown is very essential. There's no doubt. But what does the lockdown do to the economy is also a question that we must reflect on.
So would you answer my question, Professor Kumar? My question was one minute. Let's have a devolved debate. Kumar Ketkar, will you not interrupt for a minute? My question to Arun Kumar is, Prafulla Ketkar, will you not respond? Prafulla Ketkar, hold on.
25%.
Yep, I was asking you, Professor Arun Kumar. Professor Arun Kumar.
Unorganized sectors completely closed down at this point.
Professor Arun Kumar, obviously it will, because there's a lockdown.
Also not working fully. You have airlines, you have automobile sector, you have construction sector, which have all seized. So therefore, there are millions of people who are now unemployed, and they need to be taken care of through the extended public distribution and procurement system in the economy.
That's a given.
So
the point
is that the rate of growth is today minus 75% because only 25% or less of the economy is functioning. And recovery will be very difficult because consumer confidence is down. So investment is already down. Investment is going down further. So it'll take 2 to 3 to 4 years for the economy to recover from this depression that the economy has gone into.
So that may be your hope. Professor Arun Kumar, Professor Arun Kumar, Professor Arun Kumar, I will now proceed. Professor Arun Kumar, I need to respond to you.
Arnab, if you don't want me to stop, I'll stop. Okay, but let us look at the economic reality.
Professor Arun Kumar, you must let me ask you a question.
Okay, then I'll stop. Okay, I'll stop.
No. I'm just asking you. I am asking you a. But are you willing to, Professor Arun Kumar, are you willing to take my question? Because I asked you.
I have already said.
No, you haven't. You see, no. What was my question? Come on, Professor Kumar. Don't. You heard me. You heard me. Professor Kumar, you're not even hearing me now. This is not fair.
We are analyzing the situation today.
Professor Kumar.
We are analyzing, whatever has happened in 6 years, we're not analyzing that.
Professor Kumar, I am asking you a question. You are in the debate, and Sambit will be opposite you, and please listen to my question. My first question,
I've answered it.
No, sir, you haven't, sir. No, sir, you haven't, sir. No, sir, you haven't, sir.
A lot of things have been done.
No, sir, you haven't, sir. Let me ask. Sir, you are not. See, Professor Kumar, we are not going to. Professor Kumar, we are not going to get anywhere if you don't. Professor Kumar, Professor Kumar, Professor Kumar,
I want an economic discussion. I'm here for the economic
Professor Kumar, I'm not asking you a political question. Why don't you understand it? Please understand and listen to my question. I don't understand. Don't be so on the defensive on this. I'm not asking you a political question.
I'm only telling you what the reality is.
Professor Kumar, now this is showing a great deal of impatience. I am asking you a question. 1 minute, Sambit, please.
Arnab, you are being impatient. I'm only answering and you're interrupting me. So where am I being impatient?
No,
you're not letting me answer the question.
You are giving a lecture.
One
This is
minute,
not your classroom.
Let me, no, it's not a classroom, but I'm not your student either, sir. Sir, please listen to me, sir. Professor, listen to me, sir. Listen to me. My question was this, and all I want from you is an honest response to this question. Am I correct in my view that without the massive structural reforms of the last 6 years, we would not have been able to manage COVID? Now I elaborate, what are the structural reforms? Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, healthcare infrastructure. Listen to my question. Digital India, Jan Dhan Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Bheem, UPI, RuPay card, financial payment system. My view is that when you think of it logically, without all this, how would we have been able to survive? All I'm saying is that will you become a Modi Bhakt if you say yes, you are correct or no?
No, that's not the point. Arnab, all this has happened, and all this, we must divide up the issue into two parts. One is the health issue, the other is the economic issue. And on the economic issue, what I'm arguing is, while on the health issue, Arogya, etc., will work. But I'm saying on the economic aspect, a lockdown means there's neither a supply nor is there demand.
Obviously.
So both supply and demand are
no,
frozen,
sir, demand is picking up. Supply is being organized. I disagree with you. Demand is picking up and supply is being organized. I have just proven to you supply chains are very efficient. Why don't you agree? The supply chains have been brilliant.
No, that's not true, because automobile industry is saying we cannot begin production.
Sir, automobile industry will start when people start driving. Why don't you understand? You've come down to the automobile industry. Sambit is on the debate. Sambit and Arnab Kumar.
Professor Saab, give me a few minutes. Professor Saab, give me a few minutes. I beg to. I mean, it's astonishing. I respect Professor Saab.
You're not giving
Professor Saab, I'll just take a few seconds. Professor Saab, I'll just take a few seconds to answer your initial part, and then all the stage is yours. You can. Professor Saab, give me a few seconds. I mean, the anchor has ordered me to speak, Mr. Professor Saab, just a second. Astonishingly, Mr. Goswami, with all due respect to Professor Arun, Professor Saab, please, Professor Saab, you are an icon, Professor. Allow us to speak. I mean, ironically, with all due respect to Professor Arun, he looks like Rabindranath Tagore, but speaks like Karl Marx. I mean, just a second, sir, please. Please, sir. I expected some kind of soothing words from you. No, I'm only encouraging and complimenting your looks, sir. You look very good like Rabindranath Tagore.
Arun Kumar. Sambit, please, stay to the subject.
Let me come to the points. It's astonishing that Mr. Arun Kumar points out to the fact that, the airlines are stuck. We don't have automobile industry functioning. Astonishingly, this is an oxymoronic statement. I mean, you had welcomed the lockdown, and then to say that the airlines are not functioning and that people are not buying automobiles. I mean, look, just a second, sir. Just a second. No, you had wrong examples, sir. Let me complete.
GD Bakshi, I'm coming.
Is the automobile sector working? Sambit, are you saying that the automobile sector is working? Are you saying that the airlines industry is working? Are you saying that the markets are working?
Sir, but I can't fly and I can't drive my car, so why blame the industry?
Crop harvest this year. Is it not true that India is looking towards a bumper crop harvest this year?
Is it coming to you, GD Bakshi, 1 minute.
Professor Arun, this is not the way a professor should be debating, not allowing others to speak.
Of the GDP.
Just a second, sir. I can complete and then you can come in. That would be a fairer way. Let me just complete, sir.
But you're not
Number one,
complete, Sambit.
Yes, sir. I will just complete in 10 seconds. Just give me a few seconds.
12% of GDP.
Just few seconds and the floor is yours.
But agriculture, sir, agricultural production is at a record high, Professor Kumar. Where are your facts today? GD Bakshi is on the debate. GD Bakshi is restless. He wants to come into the debate to make a bigger point. General Bakshi, 1 minute. General Bakshi was responding. General Bakshi is responding to the professor.
Respectfully, can I request the professor? I have very patiently waited. Can I, as a soldier, also have my say? I would like to help. I would like to help my country. Right? That's all that I can do as a retired man.
Professor Kumar is addressing.
The point I would like to state is, when this pandemic started, there were mathematical models to tell us that 2 billion people would die, Indians would die.
Yeah.
Right? No self-respecting government, no, government duly elected by the people could have taken that risk. And therefore, a lockdown was a dire necessity. It was essential. The aim of that lockdown was twofold: to prevent the spread of that the pandemic, the virus, gain time for putting the medical equipment in place, the ventilators, the protective clothing, the gloves, the masks in place to be able to deal if it went out of control. In fighting a pandemic, Arnab, one of the prime requirements is situational awareness. What is happening in America and in Italy is less a concern of mine as a soldier than what is happening here. For a combination of reasons which have already been spelled out, the transmission of that virus has not been so rapid.
Please tell Yatin Oza that.
Now, Arnab,
people like Yatin Oza need to hear that because they are anti-lockdown. Yeah.
What I would like to point out, Arnab, is this COVID is a great challenge. It is also a great opportunity, for God's sake.
Well said.
China is going to lose its industries. People want to change the supply chains. They want to move it out of there. I, as a soldier, would tell you, please exploit this opportunity.
Well said, sir.
Even if I have to pay a price, I am the most vulnerable category. I am 70, Arnab. I am prepared to die. But if my country gains, so be it. I would be so happy. We have to get up and get going. Phase 1, full marks. Phase 2, get your economy going so that you can compete, you can take over, you can touch the skies with glory. We have to start. We are losing time. We are losing time. You have to restart, jumpstart your economy. You have to jumpstart your economy so that you can take on the Chinese. Bring him on. The world wants to invest in you. For that, you will have to start. I am prepared to pay the price. I am the most vulnerable category.
Major General,
but the country must gain.
Bakshi Sahab, you are not a vulnerable category. You are a great man. Your service is absolutely a great service. India salutes your service. You are really giving a beautiful direction for all of us to really follow your footsteps. But there are certain questions which we need to really ask government or request the government. How are they going to help to the derailed economy to come back? Are they going to give the economic boost to the people who are willing to take that risk? At the age of 70, they are willing to take risk.
The cynicism
At 45, I am willing to take risk. But
Mr.
is the government going to help us?
It's astonishing that
America, we are speaking about America. 2 trillion is the boosting America has given to their economy.
Just a second.
What is the boosting India is going to give?
We are far better than the position.
Sambit ji, मैं बात कर लूं.
Tanvir, give me a few seconds. Tanvir, astonishingly, you all are speaking about the economy and mostly you are predicting as to what is going to happen in the future with a pessimistic bent of mind. Let me assure you, the kind of predictions that you are giving, that thousands of people would be losing their job, people would be on the street, is going to be a false prediction, just as your predictions that millions of Indians were going to die during this tenure was a false prediction. Look at the government. 33 crore people already through DBT have got 32,000 crore.
Pawan also phone the debate.
My question, Mr. Goswami, my question to all the
person who's working in hotel industry, they have lost jobs. Travel industry, they have lost jobs.
Give me a few seconds.
People are losing jobs like anything.
To make. Tanvir bhai, you are a good person. I just
so 1 minute. Sambit 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 1 minute. 1 minute. Sambit 1 minute. 1 minute. Sambit. No, I have to intervene here. Sorry to be persistent. Tanvir, listen to me. If the hotels and bars and malls and restaurants are opened, will you go to the hotel? Will you go to the restaurant? Will you go? Will you go?
No.
Then what is stupid question to ask? I mean, you won't go, you risk your life, but you are ready to risk the life of the other Indians. How selfish can you be? You said, no, I won't go.
Arnab,
So I don't want to die,
Arnab, what
but I want to risk the lives of others.
Who are working there? What about them? What about them?
COVID will spread if you open up too quickly and too early. Use your mind.
Arnab,
So Arnab, you're proving the point that demand is
Arnab,
down, the supply is down. That's the point.
Acha, now let me tell you. Okay, 1 minute. Professor Arun Kumar, I have to take you on. Listen to me, Professor Arun Kumar. Listen to me, Professor Arun Kumar. I'll have to go one-to-one with you. Listen to me. First of all, Professor Arun Kumar,
the supply is down and the demand is down.
Professor Arun
supply
Kumar,
and demand are down. That's the point you're making.
I learned that in class 8 economics. No, but please understand,
Well,
supply is down, demand is down.
learned that in class 8 economics, but you're not admitting it.
Yeah,
you're not admitting that.
I
You've learned at 8th class.
Professor,
if you should admit that the
Professor
supply
Kumar,
is down.
listen.
When you say
Please-
you will not
please
go to a
ask
restaurant.
Professor Arun Kumar.
No, just
Yeah,
a minute.
Because he's
Professor,
keeping a
listen, follow the
beard.
logic.
Is he going
Follow
to
the
say that
logic of
nobody
what
is
you're
using the
saying.
shaving
No.
razor? Nobody is using the
Listen.
shaving cream.
Point is that therefore supply is down and demand is down because people will not go to restaurant as you rightly said, and therefore demand for
For a
restaurants will be
while,
down. People will
Professor
not
Arun
travel.
Kumar, for a
People will
while, not
travel,
forever.
and therefore the
Logic.
travel
Not
industry will be
forever.
down.
I mean,
Not forever. You may want it to be forever, but
At
it's
least
not
a
going to be
few years.
forever.
For a few
Communists
years,
become
till the
economists.
fear of the coronavirus
This is
is there, people
ridiculous.
will not do that. And
So
that's
India
why
has
it was
been in a
getting
lockdown for
depression.
40
So one
days.
second. Professor Arun Kumar,
Can I
ask?
now not in recession.
Professor-
The economy is in depression. And the
Professor
depression
Arun
will
Kumar,
take
you are
at least several
completely
years.
wrong. I'll tell you why. Now, if you
No,
want to
but
be, if you're
listen,
afraid of being
first
proven
listen,
wrong by
then-
me on television,
No, first you
it's
listen.
another thing.
First you
But it
listen
will
and
take
then
me
tell me when I'm
exactly
wrong.
about 40 seconds to pulverize your arguments with fact.
Arnab, what percentage of the economy is functioning at the moment?
Okay, have you
It's
finished?
Not more than 25%.
Have you finished?
75% of the
Have
economy
you
is down.
finished?
No, let me,
Have you
let me
finished?
complete.
Have you
Can
finished?
Answer me, since now, since you are
So
taking
what
the
did
role
you
of a
expect, Professor Kumar?
panelist,
Please.
So let me ask
Be
the
rational,
question.
for heaven's
Let me ask
sake.
the question. What is the percentage of the economy that's functioning at the moment?
No, please be
Agriculture is
rational.
Fourth time you've repeated the
Of course,
question.
you would expect.
So 25
After
only
40 days of
25% the economy
lockdown.
is working. So
And let
demand
me
is
also
down,
tell you, why don't you
employment is
comment
down,
that isn't agricultural produce an essential commodity? I mean, aren't people eating in the last 40 days?
That's
So why don't you
12% of
also
GDP.
comment on
So,
the
of course I said,
that
I
aspect
did.
of the agricultural
I
economy?
did. I did.
82% of all Indian households are dependent on the Indian agriculture. Please don't just keep on interrupting. Listen to the
No,
listen
the
to
problem is that
comment.
Professor
And
Arun
then
Kumar,
you
you are
can
afraid
reply.
of being proven wrong.
82%.
Professor Arun Kumar, look here. Now talk to me, okay? Let's have a decent discussion. 1 minute, Professor Arun Kumar.
44%
I don't like this kind of
Indian
discussion.
workforce is
Anand, 1 minute. Anand, 1 minute. Professor Arun Kumar, you are meeting someone armed with 1,000 times better facts than you. The 1 minute. I need to speak to Professor Arun Kumar one-to-one. Professor Arun Kumar, you are meeting Professor.
Tell me that.
You are the problem is.
Please tell me.
Professor Arun Kumar, have you finished?
Of the economy is working.
Again,
And I'm saying
are you going to repeat that
75% is
1,000
shut.
times because you have nothing else to say?
No, but please tell me that. You're not answering that.
Are you
Since
going to,
say
how many
have all
times
the
will you
data.
repeat that? How many times will you repeat
Because
that?
you're not answering.
How many times will you repeat that? Now I'll ask the questions and you'll answer.
When
Listen to me.
when
If you don't know the
when you
answer,
say-
say, Arnab, I have come unprepared. But if you're prepared, then you have to answer my questions. My question to you is the following.
I'm willing to say that I'm a fool. I don't know anything. You know everything.
No, I
I'm
didn't
willing
say
to
that. All I'm saying is that you are probably beginning to realize in the course of the discussion that you are meeting someone who has better facts than you. And my point to you is, and I need to discuss with him one-to-one, not Anand, don't disturb me. 1 second.
Intelligent, you are the
Professor
best
Arun
prepared.
Kumar, I
I'm willing
can't
to
speak when you're going on yapping. You have to stop. Thank you.
Because you don't stop. Arnab, you don't stop also.
Professor Arun Kumar, listen to me. Now listen to me, okay? Because you repeated a point. Tell me one thing. You just said that agriculture is a certain percentage of the economy. It's
12%.
considerable. Yeah, 12.5%. Now the fact is, Professor Arun Kumar, agricultural production is at a record high. Please also say that.
Correct.
So
Correct. I said that.
So
what?
So
I'm
what?
saying GDP, of the GDP, only 25% is functioning, 75% is closed.
Okay,
And
second
that's why
point,
the
second
supply
point,
problem and
second
demand
point,
problem.
second
So-
question
so
to you.
what
Okay,
does that
fine.
imply?
So I
That
understood your
implies
first answer is so what? My second question to you is, my second question, Anand, please wait. Please wait. Let me just tell him why he is so terribly wrong. Professor Arun Kumar, you are an economist. The economy is run by people who manage businesses, people who provide employment, okay? people who run the supply chains, people who manufacture products, people who provide services at an institutionalized levels. Now, you are fully aware, I hope, that the Confederation of Indian Industry is massively praising the lockdown 3 and saying that these special economic zones, the industrial estates and industrial townships with access control within the red zone, is absolutely a perfect way to go. So I don't understand. Industry is happy, agriculture is happy. Who's unhappy? You're unhappy.
No, I'm not unhappy.
JNU is
But look at
unhappy.
the amount of production. It's not JNU. I'm no more in JNU. So don't say
now
JNU
he's
is
saying
happy.
he's not
No, that was
You
just
know,
a metaphor.
But the point
Earlier he was
I'm
saying
making
so.
is
Arnab,
what percentage, in spite of the
he
lockdown
has
being
been
relaxed,
cornered.
75% of the
corner him
economy is
even
not
further.
working.
Okay. My third point to you is my third point to you is, Professor Arun Kumar, and now there are many people who want to come into the debate with you. My third point to you is, and I'll consolidate a few points out here because you need to be answered factually, and don't worry, we are fully prepared. Moody's Credit has cut the forecast of GDP for 2020 and said that there's going to be a huge bounce back, closing in on 7% in the next year. So I don't know what paranoia peddling you're doing. Next point, you're talking about shopkeepers and retailers. Sir, allow me to complete.
Moody's doesn't have the data.
Okay, so
Moody's
IMF has the
is
data.
incorrect.
IMF has the data.
IMF data is also incorrect.
What is the IMF data saying? 1 minute. Professor Arun Kumar, let me. No. Professor Arun Kumar, you complete your statement. 1 minute. Professor Arun Kumar, please let me really prove you wrong, because I'm beginning to enjoy this conversation with you. IMF predicts the real statement is, the right statement is, the statement that you should listen to is that all other countries in the world will be moving to the negative zone. Only China and India. Only China and India will be in the positive zone.
But China is also down to -6% in the first
For
quarter.
God's sake, the rest of the world is minus. We are China and India. India among the strongest economies. I don't understand what you are saying.
Mr. Goswami,
at the moment, we are at
What is your problem? You have no counterfacts.
Completely.
No, I have. I'm telling you, we are at -75%, and in 1 year's time, we may recover back very optimistically.
Okay, right. Thank you. GD Bakshi is on the debate right now. GD Bakshi is opening up the debate right now. GD Bakshi, Yatinoza on the debate. Come on. Which side is winning this debate, viewers?
Arnab, may I give you an analogy from boxing?
Give Yatinoza.
Down, the guy who will win is the guy who stands up first. Our competition is not with the small time stuff. Our competition is with China. The Chinese economy is up and about.
I want to ask.
The Chinese economy is up and about.
1 minute.
You have to recover fast. You have to speed it up if you want to compete, if you want to draw away the Chinese industries to India. It is a competition.
No,
therefore, we don't have the luxury of doing it slowly.
Yatinoza,
you've done a fantastic job till now.
Yatinoza, you know the thing that makes me most proud, and I wish you would have said that. I don't understand. You know, we are the pharmacy to the world. We are the pharmacy to the world during COVID-19. Our pharma industry is contributing in a big way to this war. We are contributing to the smooth production of medicines. We are providing pharmaceutical assistance to 85 countries in the world to ensure that nobody dies for lack of medicine. We have given 50 million tablets of hydroxychloroquine after the request of President Trump. We are looking really good. I don't understand why you can't be happy that we are looking good. You should be proud. But why aren't you proud? Why aren't you proud, Yatinoza? I wonder. I truly have begun to wonder, why aren't you people proud?
No, I am proud. 1 minute. You don't try to give political color. We are
I'm giving
proud
political
of our
color.
country,
Great.
and we are very
I'm
much
giving
proud.
political color.
Yes.
I'm proud. I'm giving political color.
We are.
By saying I'm a proud Indian, I'm giving political color.
And proud of industries. But please
Somebody
go to
respond to that.
Economic Times day before yesterday.
Nowadays, nobody reads newspapers, so I don't know. Newspapers, nobody reads.
Yatin bhai, can you allow me a few seconds, Yatin bhai?
Mr. Vivek Debaroy, Principal Advisor to Prime Minister on Economic Affairs. is against lockdown. Mr. Chetan Bhagat is against lockdown.
No, you are in favor of
today's
lockdown.
Indian
Or you are against lockdown, sir.
Today's
First,
Indian
get it clear
Express
once and for
says
all. I mean, first, Mr. Goswami, people
crore
should get
jobs.
it clear once and for all.
11
Please,
crore
sir, you know,
Chetan
down the
Bhagat,
newspaper.
1 minute,
of
quote of the
GDP.
day.
You want
Quote
the
of the
lockdown.
day.
You want the
You
lockdown.
are quoting Chetan Bhagat for the economy. What are you reading and watching nowadays, Anand? He is saying Chetan Bhagat. Chetan Bhagat of the economy.
Arnab,
Forget
I don't know
about Chetan
where
Bhagat.
from Mr.
What
Jatin
about
Ojha is getting his
Narayan Murthy?
facts, but one
What
after
about
another.
Mr. Narayan
He
Murthy?
has been jabbed. I don't know about corona vaccine, but he has been jabbed with an anti-vax vaccine.
The problem with him is, the problem with you, Yatin Ojha, is you are worried that Modi will emerge a hero out of this. The problem is you are politicizing the battle. You are criticizing. You are finding nothing to criticize.
At all not.
You are finding nothing to criticize.
At all not.
Is Mamta Banerjee worried
At
that
all
Prime
not.
Minister, let me ask Tausif.
Even Kejriwal, even Kejriwal, Congress, everybody has supported lockdown.
Sir, the doomsdayers have lost. Yatin Ojha, the doomsdayers have lost.
It is called by
The doomsdayers have lost. I just want them to concede defeat. Kanchan Gupta, why are they not conceding defeat on the program?
Mr.
They
Goswami,
should concede defeat, Kanchan Gupta.
I need to give
we have to look at it in two segregated parts. One is the lockdown, which was
Yatin is
brought
speaking.
in to deal with COVID-19. It has been an undisputed success. That is one part. Second, I think, we have a nutty professor here who's constantly making the same point as to what about the car industry, what about the civil aviation industry and things like that. Okay, now, excuse me, Nati sir, please, just 1 second. The economy around the world has come to a standstill. And it is not something which is unique to India. We are going to get a post-COVID-19 reality, and that will be the new normal. A whole host of things are going to change. Supply lines are going to change. Supply arrangements are going to get realigned. India is at an advantage, at a position where it can take advantage of the emerging situation. Our industrialists, our investors are raring to go. We have foreign investors who are looking at India moving away from China. So these are possibilities that will happen. Now, to suddenly come up and say, what about the so many millions who are going to lose their jobs?
No.
They will get.
The point is, Pawan Verma. The point, if I may bring you into this. I began with you, so I'm coming to you now. Pawan Verma. My one line before I hand over to you. You see, Pawan Verma, I'm looking at it in a macro way. When lockdown started, this lobby, which includes the opposition and some people, said, heck, this is a really bad time. We can't be seen to be against what the government is doing. So let's pretend to be with it. And as the lockdown nears its end, in between, we will use our agents to create trouble. So we'll say something about migrants, about farmers. What this lobby did not anticipate is the manner in which it will be exposed before the people of India. Pawan Verma, they are lying about the Arogya Setu app, calling it a surveillance system. The Arogya Setu app, which can save lives of millions of Indians, you are saying it violates data security and privacy. You are trying to ensure that millions actually get infected. What levels of selfishness has this lobby gone to? They have produced fake news about inflated prices of testing kits. They have said that Hindus and Muslims are being segregated in Gujarat, which is a lie. They have spread fake news about high prices for migrant workers, how much money they are paying to get home, when the fact is it does not even mention once that this cost will be charged to the state governments, not to the migrants. They are giving doomsday scenarios about lockdown being the final blow to the Indian economy, which it is absolutely not. But worst of all, Pawan Verma, worst of all, and unforgivable at that, they have said that there will be food riots in the country, starting large-scale civic disorder. My question to you today is, reflectively, would you not feel that the opposition and this lobby has done a disservice to the people of India at a time of national emergency? that once this is over, they will be the ones being asked the questions. Because the people have watched who's worked for the country and who's worked against national interest in this period. Pawan Verma.
Arnab, criticism for criticism's sake, criticism which is sourced in partisanship for quick political dividends is, I think, completely unwarranted when the nation, even with the democratic binaries, is united under an elected government at the center to fight the coronavirus. I fully agree with you. Second point, these days, Arnab, on a personal note, if I may say so, I am deeply immersed in the grandeur and refinements of ancient India. I am researching it. And one of the great things about our civilization, Arnab, is that we are an exceptionally cerebral civilization. That's a foundational aspect of our civilization. The remarkable compressed intellectuality of this civilization. And one thing that cerebral intellectuality hates is fundamentalistic simplification. So therefore the attempt to say that the lockdown was good, it achieved some results, now we are looking ahead, some of the things that are our strengths should be valued, we have challenges ahead, perhaps we can do this in another way, perhaps we should take into account, along with all the plus points, some of the logical consequences, especially for the deprived, of the lockdown, and do something for them. To have this kind of debate is entirely in consonance with the basic...
I am not making... Pawan Verma, when I made a point to Professor Arun Kumar, he got very angry and accused me of not letting me complete listening to him. But what was the point which I made? The point which I made is that India has prepared itself beautifully for this in 6 years. So what if the 6 years were the Modi years? Swachh Bharat mission has helped. Ayushman Bharat was available. Free testing and treatment of COVID to 500 million Indians in government and private hospitals is happening under this. Digital India, having a digitally empowered society, including digital payments, a direct consequence of the same demonetization policy that was torn apart as anti-people's interest, has actually benefited India today. The Jan Dhan Yojana has ensured that you have 400 million bank accounts infused with cash to help people tide over the lockdown period. How would we have given people money otherwise? And my point is today, can you imagine an India without electricity during the lockdown? How would we have survived this? What is wrong with what I've said? What is political with what I've said, Pawan Verma? I've said 6 years have contributed a lot.
I agree.
So I'm not making it political.
I agree with you, Arnab. Let me just answer you quickly. Let me just give you a quick response to what you have said. I'll just allow Samit, I will take 20 seconds.
Yeah, please.
20 seconds.
Go ahead.
Sir, the strengths of the government are something to be valued. And if the government has made certain milestone achievements in the last 6 years which better equip us to handle this crisis,
thank you for agreeing.
I welcome that. Governments are also a continuum. So therefore, what some of the achievements before that and what has been consolidated by the present government, we welcome that. I have only some views, Arnab, on the way ahead. Are we going to be able to achieve
open debate.
The goals which
Arun Kumar also wants to come in. Let's have four on the screen. Let's open it up. Samit Patra first. Let's move fast. Samit Patra is responding. We'll have Tanveer also, who's been unnaturally quiet in the middle of the debate because he doesn't want to celebrate.
Mr. Goswami, as we move to the second half of the debate, I would say enough is enough. Now let me mince no words and speak the truth. Let me speak the truth. Number one, be it the Congress party, be it the left, or be it some section in the Western media, they are astonished as to how India is dealing with all this with such alacrity. They are astonished, and rather they are stupefied that India is performing so well. They wanted to use this pandemic as a political opportunity to bash Mr. Modi, our Indian Prime Minister. I have not named your party, sir. So I have not named your party, and that's the reason as to why I do not want a response from you, Mr. Ahmed. I have named the Congress party, the left, and the Western media. You are not the Congress party, sir. Please don't be the spokesperson of the Congress party.
On the debate, quickly, Sambit, come on.
Please allow me to complete.
Tanvir has to respond to you as well.
As far as falsities and misinformation is concerned, number one, these people began with the grid collapse, if you would remember.
Oh, yeah.
If we switch off our lights, the whole world's grid is
Arun Kumar, hands up.
From there, that man who never refuses to grow up, Mr. Rahul Gandhi talks about Arogya Setu. And then
Arun
we have
Kumar
a
is on
whole
the
bunch
debate.
of journalists. No, just a second. This whole bunch of journalists who had their homes visited by people on the street because they wanted food. All of them together saying that suddenly when I opened my door today, a mother and a son were standing in front of my door asking for some food. And all of them together, all of these journalists, I know who I'm mentioning, I don't need to take their names. So all this, this kind of drama that these people are trying to come up with is only because of the reason that they want to bash the Indian Prime Minister.
Arun Kumar,
briefly. Mr. Goswami.
No, one day. Arun Kumar versus GD Bakshi. Now GD Bakshi also wants to come to the debate. Last 5 minutes. Arun Kumar.
Do you have Arogya Setu? My point, Arnab, was that
Professor Saab,
I don't want to shout.
Are you a responsible Indian? Are you a responsible? Let me test you. Are you a responsible Indian? I am a responsible Indian. I have the Arogya Setu. मेरे पास आरोग्य सेतु है. आपके पास क्या है? आपके पास है क्या आरोग्य सेतु? Let me test all the panelists tonight. Let me see whether they are all responsible Indians or they just visit the television channels.
Sambit, you are diverting the issue. Sambit, you are diverting the issue. Yes, you are diverting. The point is that yes, we have made progress. We have more mobile
Arun Kumar and GD
phones.
Bakshi now. Thank you, Sambit. Arun Kumar and GD Bakshi. Last 4 minutes on the debate.
But the point is, today, what do we need to do? Because today the economy is in a crisis. The economy is down by 75%. The rate of growth is minus 75% today. And how quickly can we recover from that?
So where did you get the number from? Sir, where did you get the number from? Your source, sir? Where did you get the number from, sir? Where did you get the number from? Your number is wrong. How can you say the economy is down by 75%? What's the source? What's your source? What's your source? That's guesswork. What's your source? What's your source?
National account statistics. I've looked at.
No. Which source? No. Tell me which account and statistics. Tell me.
National account statistics, and I have looked at the
data.
I have
No. You give me your source.
National account statistics.
Now, national. Tell me one thing. National what? National account statistics. 1 minute.
And I have reworked what part of the economy is working.
Sir, you are wrong. No, I'm sorry.
So
national accounts. There is no such figure. Sir, don't fudge.
You have not.
Sir, you are fudging it.
What do you mean fudging it? You don't
Which
know
source is
national account
this?
statistics. This is the national account statistics from which GDP is calculated.
No.
So I'm
Who's calculated this for you?
And sector by sector, I calculated what
you
part
have
of the
done your own calculation. Now that doesn't work, Professor Kumar. You can't do your own calculation.
Why not? Why not? Why should I not?
No,
do my
then
own
you are saying that I am my own source. That's fine.
You can do your own calculation.
No, but you have to cite some government source when you're giving government figures. When you're giving government figures and you're saying the economy is down by 75%, you have to give me a government source.
Why should I? National account statistics, the government data.
You are saying government data is saying the economy is down by 75%.
No, I'm saying.
No, what? You can't guesswork. Don't do backward guesswork with the GD Bakshi is on the debate. Broader point. Sir, we are fighting back, sir. Be positive.
Professor Saab, can I kindly have your
permission? Be positive, sir. We are fighting back.
Can I kindly have your permission?
Not less than 1 year, and then you'll go back.
Sir, can I please?
The average for the year would be minus.
Sir, can I please?
Growth. And therefore, we are in a depression.
Thank you. Can I please?
That's the point I wanted to make. That and investment will be down. Foreign investment is unlikely to.
Arnab,
we are unlikely to be able
Arnab, I would like to state that we are at the point of a paradox. So we have great challenges. We also have great opportunities. I, as a military man and an optimist, and I'm looking at the opportunities. Our opportunities are that a lot of industries will come out of China, and one place where they can be parked is in India. The Chinese economy has recovered. They had that first mover advantage. I don't know if they started it, but they are now absolutely recovered and they are ticking. We have to catch up. The whole thing is we will have a V-shaped growth. We will have a V-shaped growth. How, what will be the angle of that we? That is all that we are discussing about. You have the chance to gain a great advantage. Please take it. Even if you have to take risks.
Anand and Tanvi
showed great boldness in putting
India
the leg
cannot
down.
win.
He should show equal boldness, I'm sure he will, in coming out of it fast enough so that we come out on top. We come out on top.
Tanveer bhai, can I please?
That's all that
go ahead first.
soldiers would look for. That's
With
all
your
that we as
permission,
Indians
Tanveer
would
bhai.
look for.
Go ahead, Anand. बोलिए आनंद भाई.
Tanveer bhai, yeah, thank you so much. Arnab, first of all, I am so sorry, but I cannot let Professor Kumar's misinformation and all stating of wrong facts go unpunished. I mean, for him to say that the economy has gone in the dumps because we have a lockdown is like, now, please stop interrupting. It's like saying somebody is keeping a beard like him and saying that the sales of the Gillette razor are down. What does he expect? And I challenge him right now to answer me. You know something, 44% of 475 million strong labor force is involved directly in agriculture. 82% of all Indian households are related to agriculture. Agriculture is essential right now. We might be in lockdown, but aren't we all eating? So why doesn't he comment? Why is he saying that the agriculture that is only 12.5% of GDP anyway has taken a beating? Why doesn't he give the facts?
Arun, you tell me from the data what percentage is agriculture of GDP, what percentage is medical,
no, it is shocking.
What percentage is transportation. And if
where did you get 70% GDP is down in the dumps from that stat?
I calculated from the national
account statistics. It is 30% by the way.
From the national account statistics, I've calculated that the economy is not working more than 25%.
He's approximating the contribution.
Sir,
No, I'll tell you one thing. Anand, what the good professor has done. Anand, what the good professor has done is he's approximated the contribution of individual sectors, added a bit of guesswork on how much he thinks they are working, and come up with a figure.
This time I want to make sure that I want to rebut him completely.
It is quite astonishing. Viewers,
what is astonishing? Have you done the data? Have you looked at the data?
The good professor has just overheard the bad conversation that Mr. Raghuram Rajan and Rahul Gandhi had for 1 hour.
Professor, data का घंटा बजा दिया यहाँ पे. I'm sorry to use this word.
28 minutes का दिखाया है. 1 घंटा का स्कैम किया और 28 मिनट दिखाया है. Raghuram Rajan और Rahul Gandhi. वो क्या
I have been writing since March. This is much before Raghuram Rajan or anybody said anything.
We just heard that.
Okay, viewers, listen. I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion. For the rest of the Sunday, let us feel proud. Let us feel proud. Today, the military is paying a massive tribute to our COVID heroes. It is rallying up for us. Feel proud. Even Yatinoza can feel proud. Even Professor Arun Kumar can feel proud. And I also feel proud. I also feel proud at the daredevilry of the prophets of doom. And I feel proud of the fact that we have all got an opportunity to see them being proven wrong. Viewers, believe me, we'll be so much better off on the 17th. So much better off. Just a little while longer. And I'll see you tomorrow at 9. Good night and goodbye.